Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits homebrew video. Today I'm going to be setting up day one, as it were, for Solomon Grundy's Sauvignon Blanc style wine. Makes 30 bottles, standard 30 bottles in 7 days. Got it from Lovebrewing for, I think it was $21.95, so a good price. That's what you get. That's obviously the concentrate, and there's all your instructions and whatnot, and that will be the flavouring. Add after fermentation with last fining sachet. Do not add to bright wine. So different this time. You know, different wines. Some wines you just get 7 litres. Some you get 4 litres. And this fella, you obviously get a dinky little tub. I mean, there's about 1 litre in there, isn't there? Something like that. And so with this one, it's one of them you need sugar for. The more expensive kits you don't. So, you know, it's worth looking at the price of sugar. I mean, I got mine for 50p a bag from B&M or Home Bargains. It's more expensive in the supermarkets, so always something to consider when you're buying sugar. You're paying 20p a bag more. So if you've got a B&M nearby, it's well worth a trip. And not to mention, you might pick up some beers or spirits or wines that you've not had before, so it's definitely worth a trip. So I've already sterilised my bucket. Quickly bang these in. Now, today, on Good Friday, it is 22 degrees outside, which means I can now transfer all my brewing to the beer room, where it really should be anyway, not in the kitchen. So, pour one in. Now I usually use about 5 litres of hot water. Because obviously we want it lukewarm but not too hot, obviously. Too hot kills the yeast. So you can follow the instructions to the letter, you know, and I always say it's worth looking at the instructions, you know. So what we got in the bag? Well, the kettle boilers. So yeah, pretty standard instructions. Starting fermentation. At the end, then it tells you to put your stabiliser in, your finings in, and then the last finings, then you put your wine compound in, which is that little sachet of wine juice. But I'm not too worried about that because I really don't need any of that myself. Instructions, but if you do, make sure you read it yourself. So the compound, the instructions, the finings can all go in there. And some more finings. Quite a bit of finings with this. The stabiliser. That's what stops the fermentation after it stops anyway. So it's like in some ways you're stopping it after the horse has bolted, but and there we are. Yeast nutrients, wine yeast. So they'll be going in the minute I've got this sorted. So this bucket, this fella, it's not the easiest of buckets because you have to. It's not easy to, you know, to do the stirring. very easy to scold yourself. So yeah, 5 litres of hot water at the start, and then it's just a case of filling it up to 24 litres, 23, 24, depends, because you are going to lose some to that sediment layer. So you lose about a litre to the sediment, you know, so never mind what they tell you in the instructions, you never quite get what you're supposed to get. Now with these kits you can play around, you can add more sugar, have another bag of sugar. As long as the yeast, you know, ferments it out, it's no problem. It increases the alcohol content. You can add more water if your fermentation bucket's big enough to do that without, you know, because you have to leave a gap for the wort, you know, the bubbly stuff that comes up. Right, second one's nearly done. That in there. I need to wash my hand in it because I've got a bit of hot water up my arm. Lovely. And yeah, I don't really like this bucket. I was given it for free, and freebies are freebies. Brew for the final, boil for the final time. Should be the final time. I don't think I've ever brewed a Sauvignon Blanc. I've brewed Chardonnays, white wines, Pinot Grigio, so quite looking forward to doing something a bit different. And this time I'm trying not to burn my hand. Now, like you would a cup of coffee, you keep stirring until you don't feel the sugar. Leave that for a minute. This is going to be a long video, already 8 minutes, and I can't put cold water in until that sugar is totally dissolved for obvious reasons. So we'll wait for the kettle to boil again. Yeah, so 22 quid for this. They do some nice wines. I've had the Shiraz before and that was really nice. They do Merlots. I think on the Wineworks, Lovebrewing rather, on their website there's about 9 varieties, 10 varieties. So whites, reds, rosés. So definitely worth a go. For a cheaper kit anyway. Right, that's great now. That has totally got rid of all the sugar. And now I can also get it off my bloody arm. Right, now I've got rid of the sugar, I can start adding both cold and hot water to get to the required level. But one thing I must do before I do anything else is this fella. Pour the grape juice in. So a lot of wine kits you'll have a lot more juice. Not a lot of juice in this kit, so you know. And look at the colour as it's going in. It's not very clear, is it? You know, it's not white. So, you know, you think it'd be a white wine, it wouldn't be, it'd be white, but no. And obviously, wash it out. Because obviously you don't want to be leaving any juice behind, you know, never leave juice behind. Right. Oh, bugger. I'll fish that out at the end. So, last kettle of hot water. Now it's just a case of filling it with cold. I've got a really small kitchen, and at times it can be a swine to get everything done. So up to 13 litres now, soon get up to 24. And with the temperature at the moment being quite warm, it's not going to take long for it to ferment. You know, they say 7 days, but it could be as little as 3 or 4. The thing to do is let it, you know, if you're stood by it for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and it doesn't bubble at all, then you know it's done its thing. I have had trouble recently with certain kits and trying to get them to start, and it's like I give them a bloody good shake, and all of a sudden they start working. So you know there is that element. Sometimes just they say don't shake them. They say you use this like restart yeast, but sometimes it's probably just because it needs a bit of a shake around. Nearly 20 litres now. And say that's Sauvignon Blanc, and it's supposed to be white wine. It doesn't look very white at the moment. A little bit more, and then we're there. So lovely, we are at the 24 litre. Now let me fish that bloody thing out. Not what I really want in the brew, but anyway, accidents happen. Right, so we're at 24 litres, there you go. That's the 24 litres, that's what it looks like inside. It's nice and it's not too hot, not too cold. So, yeast nutrient. Would you believe I've got no scissors? So, the old fashioned way. And now the yeast. Just make sure we get every last little bit of yeast. We don't want to be leaving any yeast in. And that's it really. You can give it a shake, but I've got to walk it to my shed. So, bit of water in there, make sure there's some in. And that's it. And in a week's time, hello. Yeah, that's better. In a week's time, this should be very interesting. Nice and sealed. And that's it. Thanks for watching. See you soon.